G'day guys, welcome to Evention. Over the past 9 months, we've received literally hundreds of questions and emails from all over the globe. But as you know, we can only do 1 episode a week. So today, we thought we'd try something different and answer some of the most common viewer questions that we've received, both about riding and ourselves. So let's get started. So we have a list of common questions. Let's get started with the first one.
Chloe asks, how to get a nervous horse used to clippers?
What I do when I have a nervous horse that it has problems with the clippers is most of the time it's either from a bad experience or they just have no clue what it is. So it's going to take a couple of times to get them used to the clippers. You can't expect it to be, 5 seconds and they're fine. So what I would do is just get the clippers and put the horse in a calm situation, in a safe situation, and at least let them get used to the noise first. And then slowly kind of work your way up closer to their face or whatever you're trying to clip, their muzzle or their ears or bridle path. Get close to their face, maybe rub the clippers, not the blades obviously, but the actual handle up and down their neck so they get used to the vibration, etc. And then just slowly work your way to clipping. Start with a small area, and if you have a good day and you get 1 inch clipped and they don't move, then leave it, and let them know that it's okay and it's not a big deal.
Jessica asks, what do you guys keep in your Ringside kit for last-minute touch-ups?
My Ringside kit consists of quite a few things. I normally use a backpack instead of a bucket. That way my hands are free if I need to do anything or if I'm walking the horse. What I keep in there is baby oil, gel, not just the oil, but a gel, a rag, hoof pick, hoof oil, any kind of mane brush or body brush. And then I also keep rubber bands just in case a braid decides to pop open or something like that, and always scissors as well. You never know when you're going to cut something.
Megan asks, how do you help a rider build confidence?
Building confidence, just like anything, it's a fragile thing, and you need good experiences and you need to be pushed outside your comfort zone enough that you feel good, but not so far that you are out on a limb. And it's very easy when you do start pushing yourself and having some success to kind of get carried away, but that's probably when your confidence is the most fragile. So you want to be feeling good about what you're accomplishing, stepping outside your comfort zone every now and then, but most of all is doing well over and over again, even if that's not big giant jumps or really hard dressage tests, but doing it well and doing it properly is the best way to feel good about your riding and gain confidence.
Michelle, and hundreds of you have asked, how to teach a horse clean lead changes.
Well, that's a very good question. As eventers, we don't need to do flying lead changes in the dressage until the upper levels of the sport, and so it's not something that we would teach every horse automatically. We would really wait until they're quite schooled and going up the levels. But if you wanted to train it, you probably want to make sure the horse is very proficient in counter-canter as well as canter-walk transitions. And then when you do begin to introduce the idea of getting the lead change, it might be useful to start over a pole on the ground, also doing a lot of the canter lateral work, like canter half pass, and to be able to give them the idea and have them collect enough and be light enough to get the clean change. Anyone can teach a late change, but teaching a clean change takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. So if you were to do that, I would really come at it from a more of a dressage standpoint rather than just trying to throw the horse over, because you're not going to get a clean change training in that way.
Bailey asks, what's your best advice for a young rider?
My best advice for a young rider, coming from my own experiences, would be to talk less and listen more, probably, during all kinds of training, because as a younger rider, when you get a bit ahead of yourself, you think you know a lot more than what you do, and the truth is that with horses, you're going to die not knowing it all. So I would say you've got to take something from every person you come across with horses. You can learn an awful lot. Probably leading on from that advice is to be patient. It's easy to get impatient and it's easy to get frustrated from that. And you're going to do the best and you're going to learn the most when you keep an open mind and you don't expect it all in 5 minutes. And it will actually come a lot quicker than you think.
Taylor asks, at what age did you start riding?
I believe when I first started riding, rode my first pony by myself was when I was about 3 or 4. But my mum was the biggest influence on my equestrian career, and she actually started having contractions at a horse show. So I guess you could say I've been around horses my entire life.
I was 6 years old when I started riding. I tried to copy my older sister, Nikki. She was riding and taking riding lessons, so of course I wanted to as well. And I really got into it and I never stopped, and it became a lifestyle.
Stephanie asks, how do you keep your heels so far down?
That's a very good question. I actually struggled with this a lot as a kid. I used to have the old flappy legs that were going everywhere, and I had a trainer once tell me that my Achilles tendon or my Achilles heel was very short, and that I should go home and stand on the edge of a step on my toes and try and stretch my heels down. I did that every day for a couple of years, and it really did make me feel like I could get my heels down a lot more. And then basically it's just practice, just riding as much as I can, going over videos and watching where they are and making sure that they stay down and still like they should.
Stephen asks, where was the most difficult cross-country course you've ever ridden?
That's kind of a hard question. All of them are pretty hard in their own way. I'm nervous before every single one, depending on the rein or the footing or the horse I'm riding. To date, I guess technically the hardest one I've ever ridden would be the CCI 2-star at Fair Hill, but it felt like the easiest because my horse was ready and cruised around and had a great time. So really, I'd say that one, I guess, was the hardest.
So let's take a break and head to a Schrammo shout out. As many of you already know, a massive tornado swept through the small rural community of Moore, Oklahoma, on the outskirts of Oklahoma City last week, absolutely devastating the area, including flattening many barns and killing many people and horses. More specifically, the Orr family farm, as well as Plainers Bay Eventing farm, have lost 100 horses between them. And as horse owners, we can understand just how tragic that loss would have been. We're asking that all of you Evention fans out there could come together and help these guys rebuild their life and hopefully get back on track. If you head to our Facebook page, you'll find more information about places that you can donate or other ways to help. That just about wraps it up, guys. Remember, if you've sent us a message about your horse or an idea for an episode, we may not get back to you, but we definitely take it into account, so keep those questions coming.
All right, thanks for watching. See you next week.